Got Gibbens Robichaux in the house this morning. Got William Taylor, and we are going to play the anniversary tape that William and Gib made for us. So wake up your spouses, and we'll give you a little bit. We'll play it on probably the second part of the hour. Give you a chance to wake up and get rolling. You do not. This is hilarious. You do not want to miss this, though. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, call up everybody, and if I'm gonna make a real fool of myself, I want to do it with an audience.
It's powerful event.
I want everybody listening. So it is really funny. In fact, it is hilarious. So get everybody woke up, say hello to us, and walk right upstairs and
you were here,
get on there.
Some gumbo. Hey, Gene,
get a gumbo.
Last week we sold 630 bowls of gumbo.
That's how many shrimp were in there? Huh?
3,727. I counted them myself.
Tell you what, don't forget, you got Lenten gumbo today, seafood gumbo at 12 o'clock. Or 11 o'clock it starts. Tonight, St. Thomas has catfish and white beans. And if you don't like seafood, Monday you can go to chicken sausage gumbo at St. John's Episcopal on Jackson Street.
Right.
What's tough in Lent? We got to give up meat on Fridays. I mean, that's rough.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
That is rough.
Sure, yeah.
You get to eat seafood gumbo and fried cat. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, I don't know what. I didn't sleep good last night.
You were anticipating William Taylor.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. Maybe I was all fired up and excited.
That's the case. God help you. I mean, shoot.
The weather, man. What's going on?
Well, today, basically,
oddballed all over this country.
Well, first of all, I guess it's happening because we didn't listen to Al Gore. I don't know. Strange. Madison, Wisconsin has records all-time snow.
All-time snow.
The country, mainland China, has seen its coldest winter in 100 years. Somewhat record ice in Missouri and then parts of the Central Plains. And, just a month ago, we had a handful of days where we were getting down into the 20s. So, I mean, it just is all part of the cycle of weather. It's like, we're supposed to be in a La Nina pattern where historically the South and Southeastern United States is drier than normal. But when I went back and did the research, that actually only occurs 80% of the time with La Nina. So, like I said, we are a little bit wetter than we should be for this winter. Last couple of days, it's been up and down. We had that warm front come through yesterday morning, gave about 3 inches of rain to some parts of the area.
I'm telling you, it was flat raining like a cow, on a flat rock.
That moved north into central Mississippi. 1 week line of showers is moving through southeast Louisiana this morning, mainly on the North Shore. We have a chance for some showers after this line, and when the front's going through Lake Charles right now. So the rain chances for this morning is probably a little closer to 50%. I'm not worried about any strong or severe weather so much. And then I'll drop to 20% this afternoon. And then things should stabilize for the next few days after that, where we'll probably be closer to normal for highs and lows.
This is not a cold front. Tell me the temperature.
It technically is. But we're not going to get freezing.
He got to get his jacket out.
Oh, man.
This morning was nice on a walk.
Come on, April. God, dog, come on, springtime.
I got to tell you, Gene, this William Taylor is amazing. I don't think he sleeps, We get weather reports at 4 o'clock in the morning, and he taped all this stuff that you're going to hear. I had something to do with it because I got him on here.
Right.
But he's the one that did it, and he's amazing.
Is that your hobby?
Well, here's the deal. The way we're set up at the mill, I cannot always sit by the radio to hear dialogue when it comes on. So often, luckily, if you go to the stores, you can actually get cassettes that play 1 hour on one side.
Yeah.
So all I'd simply do is not knowing when I have to leave the office, I make sure I get there before 7 and put the cassette in the recorder so I can hear dialogue and then replay it later on. Now, I didn't do this during the first run, prior to the shutdown. I just never thought about saving anything.
Yeah, right.
But then when I got to know Gibbons better during the off time, what I started to do when the sign-on came back was to save some of the shows, at least for a few days. Like I virtually have all of them that Gibbons has been on at the house since then, or when Greg comes on or whatever. And but sometimes when I would sit down to listen or hear the replay, these little funny innuendos that come out, that come out along the way, and sometimes I have to admit, did I hear him say that? So I'd go back and replay the tape and so on and so on. So what I would do is maybe every month go through some of the tapes And gradually over time, using the computer, splice them together.
Hold on, let me take this call. Good morning, you're live, KTIB.
Okay, what pecking order are you in when Gibbons is on and when Greg's on? But he didn't say anything about you.
That tells you where I am. I'm a bottom feeder.
I'm just kidding you, man.
Who's that?
That's Greg.
Greg, you want to keep listening now because you famous too, because I think you're on this once or twice.
Listen,
what?
I got another point. We got a dilemma that since you and Gibbons are such good Catholics and y'all were talking about Lent and everything, did you hear the latest story that hit the news on Fox this morning?
No.
1940 was the last time that St. Patrick's Day ended up during Holy Week. Now, what are we going to do this year? It's Holy Week.
Yeah, but tell me it's on a Sunday.
St. Patrick's Day is on a Monday.
Oh, man, because we get a free pass on a Sunday.
Well, maybe we could get special dispensation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Huh?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I'm going to start working on that right now.
There you go. I knew you and Gibbons could handle this situation.
We're going to pull it off.
All right. Y'all have a great day.
You got it, buddy.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
He's something else.
Doggone Greg Dumas. Yeah, St. Patrick's Day is February?
March 17th.
March 17th. That's a Monday, and it's still Lent.
We're not having a St. Joseph altar at St. Joseph because of that?
Why?
Huh? They have other activities in the life.
Oh, okay, in conjunction with...
going over to another place for the St. Joseph altar, but it's most unusual situation to have, St. Joseph Day on a Monday.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Shoots in St. Patrick's Day during Lent, but Greg's right. We got to start working on that right now. Get tight with the bishop or something. We get a dispensation or something for St. Patrick's Day to drink green beer or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, getting back to what I see. Bill, of course, Billy's my cousin, and me and his mom kind of the same age and grew up together in the same neighborhood and stuff.
I didn't know that.
And his dad also. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Spend a lot of time on weekends together. And his mom tells me that, and that's why I asked Billy if it's his hobby, because all kidding aside, not. And he did this for us, and he does a lot of things like that. But, all the things that he did for the Saints, all the memorabilia for the Saints, all the recordings that he does for other things.
50 years.
Because you'd be surprised.
You got to like to do that. I mean, you stay busy with that for hours on end.
You'd be very surprised how many ex-players and ex-coaches never saved any footage from when they played. And that was my surprise when I first got involved with this. I talked to guys like Jack Holmes, who played fullback from 78 to 82. And while VCRs had just come out at the time, for example, when he was playing, they just never thought about it because, back then playing football was a job. They didn't consider it so much something they could look back on. Mm-hmm. So a lot of these guys would find me, and they would ask me if I have any footage from when they played or not. So, that's how I really, in earnest, started saving footage in that line since 2000. And luckily, I found other collectors across the country that helped me find stuff. Now, like, for example, in radio, Gibbons has told you about the Marie Bergeron interview I found from 76 with Fats Domino.
Right.
A gentleman in Massachusetts actually had that.
That's unbelievable.
That gentleman...
That's unbelievable.
Well, this gentleman in Massachusetts, he collects radio air checks for a living, for a hobby. And by chance, he had to make a trade with somebody in the New Orleans area for something. It just so happens, I don't know who the person was, but they happened to save this off of KHOM. So, a lot of the things I found have been by accident. I can't lie to you about that. Amazing. Yeah, so I mean, the archiving is a lot of fun, and especially with the way the computers are today with editing and such. And in fact, that's the only real way I was able to do this that we put together. So, heck, it doesn't even seem like a year since you've been back on.
It looks like we just came back on yesterday. And I was looking at my calendar. The first KTIB came back on the 11th. She started playing the music, right. The promos. Right. Dialogue was the first show was 15th. I'm sorry, the 15th. So, we right on anniversary week here, and I tell you, Billy's absolutely right. It looks like just last month we just cranked it up. We laugh and joke about it, but time does fly when you're having fun.
Second month's gone already, huh?
Yeah, it's gone. Thank goodness for people like Greg Dumas and Gibb and William that helped get us going and help dialogue. Listen, I say it all the time. This show ain't about me.
No.
This show's about the people that sit on that side of the desk, that you in front of the mic now are listening on us. Mr. Dupair. heard us say, come on. He just walked on in. You know, that's what we're about. This is local radio.
Absolutely.
You know, it's about the people and it's about the community. And thank goodness we're able to give something. And thanks to everybody that helps. Because let me tell you, this doesn't happen with just one person. It happens with a lot.
Come to you thousands one day.
Yeah.
I love Tibbetts loves that, huh?
Yes.
Well, you must have done what, 20 a month? 20 a month for a year?
Yeah, I guess. You know, we if you go back, I guess we'd have to go back and take a look at that. We probably getting up there. I don't know.
12. What's 20 times 12?
It's 240.
240 a year, and we've done it for what, 6? We might be over 1,000.
Yeah, that's right.
I never thought we may be over 1,000.
I can
from the
answer.
first
Do
time.
you remember? I know you started in 2001.
I don't remember. I have no clue.
I'm very sure. Okay, this is why
I
I
don't have a
remember.
clue.
You and I did a dialogue show in November of 2001 for All Saints Day, the anniversary of the Saints. And it was earlier that year that
You're
David
right.
Salisbury
I remember
was still
that.
doing it.
Yeah, and that's when you used to come in the morning or in the afternoon.
Oh, no, that would be a couple years later.
Okay, hold on. Let me get
All right,
this
go
going.
ahead.
Good morning, you're live, KTIB.
Good morning, Gene. It's Kathy.
Good morning, Kathy.
No birthdays. I just wanted to thank y'all. I grew up with my parents listening to KTIB. I mean, that was the news forum then. And now I'm doing it, and I'm glad y'all are back on the air because that's where I get all my information, all my news, all my current events. And I just wanted to thank y'all. I love the show.
Oh, thanks. We appreciate it.
I can't wait to enjoy today's show.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, that's what it's about. You know, as I always say, I'm holding this seat for Marie Badgeron. You know, she's going to come back and do it because she's the one that started this, and nobody will ever, I don't think, match what she was able to do. She had very savvy. The thing about Marie, and I remember those days back when we used to listen to KTIB when I didn't even know what KTIB was.
So the whole nursing home had played that tape for her with, what was he?
Fast Domino?
Yeah. Domino. You should have seen her face. 25 years later, should have seen her face. She listened to it.
Oh, listen.
Yeah.
Look, we're a little over time. We got to take a short break, pay some bills. Listeners, get everybody, because when we come back, we're going to play the anniversary tape that William put together. You don't realize how silly you really are sometimes. Pour yourself another cup of coffee. We got a great show this morning. We'll be right back here at Oldie 640 KTIB. Listen, get everybody about the radio because we're going to go off for about 20 minutes. We'll let William start this thing, and then we'll get rolling and come back on when it's over. Enjoy it, not at my expense, but just have a good time with it because I had a good time doing it, believe it or not.
I don't care what side of the fence you're on. You know, except when I come on the show, you always spill your coffee in my lap. It's my show, that's why. But you always call me names and give me hand signs when I leave. Yeah, but you asked for some of that too.
In honor of KTIB's first anniversary back on the air, we present The Best of Dialogue with Gene Richard, a truly unique perspective of a man whose broadcast ability is truly beyond description. So sit back and relax as we bring you some interesting dialogue moments from the past year of KTIB's return. We start off on an interesting note as Greg Dumas substituted one day for Gene, and his guest was Dr. Paul Leslie. Here's their comments on Gene's organizational skills, as well as a separate topic on physicalities. Take a listen.
See, with Gene, I could always be 15 minutes late because it always takes him 20 minutes to read through that list of,
well, I kind of shortened it down,
I mean, I noticed that, first of all, you're better organized. I mean, I look here and everything's neatly written in your daily planner, but Gene, he's got notes in his pockets. He's got stuff wrapped around his socks. He pulls out, and then he's always trying to, get his hair and stuff like this. And
you see, somebody help Gene, though. You see, we have this little book that's sitting in front of me right now.
The worst thing you can do is organize it.
It's this dialogue tidbits, and it's all bound and everything, But
it's not going to help him one bit.
Somebody was trying to help him out a little bit there.
But normally, when I first came on, it was for prostate cancer. And I know a lot of
I don't like it. You get 20 milligrams.
You get 20 milligrams of lycopene.
Yeah.
And lycopene affects hormonal cancers, of which breast and prostate cancer.
So you look that way, don't you?
And so, that's why there's more money in breast cancer than there is prostate. People look at breast and not prostate.
That's good.
Our society is breast affected. Man, you see all these people smoking or sucking their thumbs or eating on cell phones. Why did you? I mean, their mama must have cut them off too early. Like I said, during the COVID would be COVID run every year. You know, breast is a terrible thing to waste.
Next, you'll hear Greg talking to Laddie Duplantis, local area pharmacist, about Gene's talking ability.
I got Laddie Duplantis walking in here. Laddie,
yeah, good.
Man, you had me sweating. My listeners out there were turning off because I was having to read so much news, man.
You were doing good, you know, but I never get here early because Gene's got so much BS with him. They don't pay to come in and listen to him every morning.
And I agree with you there. Gene,
but he does a great job.
He does.
He really brings out a lot of awareness, a lot of stuff that's going on. And so I apologize.
That's all right.
I'm probably running a little later than I normally run, but
he's out of breath from crawling up those stairs too. Take your time. Take your time.
Next, you'll hear Chad Meir from the Thibodaux Fire Department talking with Hugh Hamilton about Gene Richard and his association with Thibodaux Firemen's Fair Food and how that may strain his relationship with Paul Leslie and local dietitian Debbie Melvin.
A lot of food out there, a lot of fun, a lot of cold refreshments out there.
Absolutely.
So,
Gene, Debbie Melvin will probably allow you to use this day as your sampling platter.
It will be.
I'm sure she'll give a blessing on sampling for the Fireman's Fair.
Paul Leslie's going to give me green tea on Friday, and Debbie's going to exempt me on Sunday. You know, Bill, we're getting old. When you got to plan ahead to have a good day like that, you kind of got to do penance 2-3 days ahead of time.
And a week after.
You're right.
Next, we have an interesting in-studio moment featuring Gene and Miss Odette on her confusion about certain initials that were said during the broadcast, followed by an interesting editorial reply from one of our favorite callers, Mr. Falcon.
Oh, no, they're talking about the music CD. They're not talking about bank CDs.
Oh, well, I was wondering what that was about. Why you was telling him that?
That's why I was telling him that, because you ought to make a CD. Hold on.
CD.
Good morning. You're live, KTIB.
How you doing, Gene? Good morning.
Good morning.
Look, I just want to call and make a confession to you.
All right.
When you got on the air the last time, my first thoughts were, oh, my God, we're not going to hear Miss Odette no more. And then my second thoughts were, then we're not going to hear Gene no more.
Well, at least you got your priorities straight.
Next, some comments Gene Richard made with Jerome D. Richard about term limits and, well, his application of them.
You've been on the council quite a while, so have I, and I don't know if that's good or bad, but I think it's good.
And next you'll hear Gene, well, we think making positive comments about then broadcaster Rainey Voisin.
And I want to give Rainey a chance to get her act together and get in here and get cleaned up.
Next, here's a delightful call from Gibbens Robichaux on his 60th high school reunion.
Good morning. I tell you sound so great.
Where you at, Mr. Gibbs?
I just came from Mass, but I got to tell you about a great anniversary today.
Sure.
The Thibodaux College and Montgomery classes of 1947 are celebrating 60 years of graduation from high school today.
60 years.
60 years. We call ourselves the Ancient Ruins and the Ruinettes.
That's about right.
Of course, we graduated when we were 12. So
naturally, yeah. You're not as old as you're not as old as you look, right?
They're coming from all. We got 35 of them coming. We're having a party at the bistro, and if you're not doing anything, come by and sing us a little tune.
Yeah, right. That's You know how I can sing. Yeah. I can't carry a tune to number 3 tub. But anyway, Gib, what was the size of your graduating class?
25.
25 in the
12
class.
12 in the girl, and we got about 12, 13 left, and they got 5 left. So we live in a long time, though.
That's that. You know, and you're going to live a lot longer,
I know Gene Richard will be around for 70.
100. I'm living to be 100. I'm living old enough to be a problem for my children.
Yeah.
And now here's a program featuring Gene on the VFW Hall having an open bar.
Like the meeting doesn't start till 7. Well, most people get there 5:30 to 6.
Right.
And it's like you said, we just stand around and talk, and like I said, the bar is open. And
thank goodness. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition.
Next, we have Gene's comments on what really defines a war.
It's not a war if you don't have Spam and homemade oatmeal cookies. Homemade oatmeal cookies.
And now here's Gene's comments on what marriage is really all about.
Tell Vic hello and tell George hello for me.
Okay.
I assume you're both still married to the same...
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. But don't say it like that, buddy.
I'm very upbeat.
See, Vic, I told you. Anyway, thanks.
Now here's another exciting call from Miss Odette, followed by an interesting comment on Let Freedom Ring as it pertains to what would happen if Gene cooked over there.
Hey, y'all. y'all. That's Odette.
Hey, Miss Odette.
How y'all doing?
All right.
Look, I'm listening with y'all, and I want everybody to please think about going with Let Freedom Ring.
Yeah. You coming?
Yeah, Bev, I love that. I want to see the firework and all, you know, and all that. I might bring my little grandchildren, get their fingerprint.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, and so I want to tell everybody, I love y'all, and look, I tried calling y'all this week. Roy and I got 42 years married.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you believe that?
I believe you. You didn't try to hurt yourself or nothing now.
No,
Okay, all
no,
right. Okay.
no.
All right.
You don't remember. He's we have him on the list of the sex offenders, you know. So you forgot that, huh? Well, look, thank all the people over there that do the work for the Let Freedom, especially right now with our man, you know,
right.
boys and all by Iraq and all.
You're right.
Yeah, well, okay, y'all
Thank
have a
you.
good day, Chef.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
For all these people that you know are health conscious, now Gene does not cook a heart-healthy breakfast.
Debbie's going to be on me. Cole Leslie's going to be on me. You know, hey, once in a while you can do this. You know, once in a while you can do this.
This is a special
That's right. Special occasion. Come on out. I mean, you know, we're going to use turkey bacon. You know, we're going to use Eggos instead of eggs. And we're going to use ham with no fat.
I believe that.
You know, if you believe that, I got some oceanfront property in Dallas, Texas, I want to tell you.
And here's Laddie Duplantis, probably the only man in the world who can make something hysterical out of bare feet.
You got to get those shoes off and let your feet air out. You got to walk around. And look, our friend Hugh over there at the Civic Center, he said that in one of the programs, you know, he said go out there and walk barefoot in the dew. It'll help get rid of foot fungus and help you feel better. It's true. That was an article a couple of weeks ago I read that if you walk barefoot, it make your knees feel better. And so I started walking barefoot because, you know, I'm 60 years old like you, Gene, and my knees don't feel so good sometimes. And I don't know if it's my imagination. I probably don't feel better. Yeah, I feel better. I don't look any better. But, yeah, I got people come to the drugstore and they go, you're the first druggist I saw without any shoes on. I said, well, it's just for a little while. But it's remarkable. Go barefoot and let somebody rub your feet. Get a foot massage. And I had a couple of people come in and they get their foot massage and they think they died and went to heaven. So, you know, get a foot massage, walk barefoot, and especially if you got a foot phobia where you don't want nobody touching your feet and you can't, you got a problem. Get them shoes off. Going barefoot's good for you. You know, as kids, we all I could walk. And look, your feet control a lot of your body. Your foot massage is that's another interest in science. But the fact that they're getting foot massages, walking barefoot, you know, there's different things. As the Chinese got all kind of stuff out there, you know. There's a little nun that gives these good foot massages up here, Sister Mary. Y'all know Sister Mary? She's a little Vietnamese nun. By the cross. Man, y'all call that lady. Look, she's about 70 years old, and, man, when she grabs you, brother, you're in trouble. She goes, is that hurt? I say, you're hurt, man. Look at the lady. But she does a foot massage that's incredible. And so everybody ought to try and take advantage of that little old lady. But there's a lot of massages around, but I was surprised to find so many people with foot phobias. They don't want anybody to touch their feet, and they don't want to go bare feet. And a lot of them are sick. And so your foot can help you. Sick in more ways than one. Well, that's right. Go barefoot. So I'm going barefooting. Got the shoes off.
And now here's Gene trying to talk about sweat. Listen carefully.
A cotton T-shirt, it tends to absorb the perspiration, keeps your body cool. Perspiration.
One of the interesting dialogue moments occurred with Dr. Paul Leslie. Here's his commentary on one of Gene Richard's most interesting terms.
Speaking of dog, Paul Leslie just walked in the house. I'm going to give him a chance to get a cup of green tea and relax. It's almost break time anyway, listeners. I'm going to take a shot.
I thought you needed some help.
I did.
After I heard that signalization.
Signalization is a word, and you know it is. You're smart enough to know it is.
I'm dumb enough to know that I've never seen it before until I heard it on the radio. I didn't know if we had a new birth of a whole new language up here.
It is not. You can. In fact, when we take a break, we're going to go on the computer and we'll punch in the word.
Well, you probably already been on the computer and entered it there.
No, it's already in like the signalization is a word. I'm telling you.
I thought we were going to start adding all of these. What is it? A suffix to all these?
No. It's a word. And there's another word that Greg and I messed with a couple of years ago. That's a word too, but I can't remember. I got CRM. Can't remember much. You know.
Can't remember much. CRM. You've been diagnosed with that.
That's right.
One continuous stream after signalization. I mean, and then you kept stumbling.
I know. I always do that.
And then I was wondering whether or not you were trying to,
maybe not read.
Invent some new word.
No. Just signalization is a word, and it pertains specifically to traffic signals.
Traffic signals.
That's right. You can go look. You can punch in signalization on Google, and it goes right to traffic signalization.
Right. Thibodeau General.
They didn't say Thibodeau General. It doesn't. It's not a Thibodeau word. It's not a Richard word. It's like a word.
It's a Richard word that was added in the last.
No, it was.
30
it's
days.
a word. Just go look it up, Paul. You're a professor. You ought to know that.
Doesn't mean anything.
Teacher
File higher and deeper. That's about all it is.
Hey, listen. One more thing before I want to talk.
There you are. Just listen. I mean, when you started using that word.
What?
I mean, it's just the practicing it at home, probably before you came. I noticed that you kind of you're not used to moving back into regular English.
No. I just wanted to make sure I could pronounce it. It's just like and I have trouble with some words. The one Laddie Duplantis talks about all the time. What's homeopathy and homeopathic health? It took me a while.
Well, we're not used to saying it that way.
Well, it is. Homeopathy is right, isn't it?
You keep on saying it enough, you might homeopathyization.
I wonder if that's a word. I'm going to go look that up.
That's probably a word.
That might be a word. You don't know.
Talking about Scrabble, that signalization is a good word. If I put that on Scrabble, I'll attribute that to Gene Richard, man. That's about 75 points.
And you know what? You can go on the net, and it is a word. Everybody laughed at me for using the word, and it is a word.
Oh, sure, it's a word.
It's a real word.
And it's got a Z in it, Paul. You could really make something.
Absolutely.
Here's Gene making a rather startling comment about why he's not perfect.
Everybody knows we're live.
Yeah, you think?
Many mistakes as we make.
And, of course, we have to continue on with Dr. Leslie on the issues of eating and memories.
I heard all that bad advice you're giving to people about eating till you're full.
All right, Paul.
That's my clock.
Yeah. Well, one of the early lessons I got as a kid from my mother was something that came from Stan Musial. Always leave the table hungry.
Well, what's the purpose?
Why would you want to eat?
I don't know. He's about 90 years old, so why don't you go ask him?
My mama said never clean your plate. No, my mom used to always say clean your plate.
Yeah, but don't fill your plate.
Hey, did you hear Fred talk about we can have deer? Deer is good lean meat.
Well, deer is also, as long as you're not long as it's not tied up to a tree and fed cattle feed.
Well, who does that?
Have to look at his neck to see whether or not they're rope burned. You'll find some of the greatest memories that you can possibly find just talking to people.
No question about it.
And that's the sad thing about this electronic age. It's a listening and looking. It's not a talking society.
Right. True story.
So get yourself a tape recorder, and when you're driving down through Jack Bay,
I'm going to do it.
I mean, hell, one of these days, you're going to find out your kids want to hear those memories. My grandfather, before he died, he sat down and talked about his life. Of course, there was a little bit he added some flavor to it. But we all tend to practice. I'm sure you walk 20 miles to school every morning with a bag full of cornbread and some molasses to go to school.
That's right, and uphill both ways.
And you were barefoot.
I was barefoot. and I did walk to school, but it was only a mile.
Yeah. But anyway, I was going to call you early, and I was going to ask you, what does friggin' cold mean?
It means it's doggone cold. It's too cold.
I'm trying to figure that out. So.
One of the more mysterious ironies of dialogue in its first year since returning to the airwaves on KTIB occurred in early February of 2008. Now listen to Gene Richard describe a new segment he's about to introduce.
There are those of you out there getting some calls and some comments that I don't know my vocabulary and I don't know words. So what we're going to do to improve my vocabulary and yours, fact of the day and the word of the day is biathlon.
Now listen to what Gene said one day later when he couldn't figure out a description of someone who had a birthday on February the 7th.
Some of the birthdays on this date, February 7th, 1837, Sir James Murray, who was a Scottish Lexicographer and editor. I have no idea what that word means. We need to put that up and look that up.
That strange irony, the fact that he just started a segment called Word of the Day, and the word lexicographer refers to someone who writes dictionaries. Go figure. But every now and then, Gene Richard does get a very memorable call. Let's listen to this one that came in late in the show on February 6, 2008.
This is Sheila Billiard. How are you?
Well, good morning. Give me some good news.
Well, you want to talk to him?
You gotta be kidding.
No, he's laying right here. Hold on.
Put him on.
Hey, Miss Jean.
Sean Biot.
How's it going?
How are you?
Good, good.
Hang on one second. Let me catch my listeners up. Listeners, this is the Marine at Walter Reed Army Hospital in Washington, D.C. that I asked you to pray for weeks ago. Sean had a little altercation and was in some very serious trouble physically. And I heard something yesterday, Sean, some pretty good news. You coming home?
Get discharged on Wednesday, and I'll be home on Friday.
Ask our, because everybody's been praying for you here. Tell our listeners, how are you? What's the prognosis? What's going on? Catch us up.
I'm pretty good to go. I'm pretty much back to normal. All the doctors said it's been a miracle. I'm recovered very, very well. The first prognosis was 6 months to a year to recover.
Uh-huh.
But it's pretty much been almost 6 weeks, and I'm pretty much good to go as far as recovery.
Oh, man, that's great. We look forward to seeing you.
And I'm back. I go back on March 7th. My commanding officer is going to re-enlist me, and I'll do another 4 years in the Marine Corps.
Wow. Sean, listen, when you get in, I need for you to call me. I want you to come on the show, okay?
I sure will. I can definitely call you.
You bet. Give me a call, and congratulations on the good news, and we are so happy for you. Man, I appreciate the call, and look forward to spending some time with you when you come in on leave.
Well, I appreciate all the people praying for me, and I really appreciate you asking everybody to pray for me.
You bet, buddy boy. See you when you get in.
But of course, it wouldn't be dialogue if it wasn't for Gene opening every program with those incredibly sweet, wonderful, memorable words.
Good morning, listeners. And let me tell you, the flag on the flagpole in front of the courthouse this morning, right now, dead still. I mean, just nothing is a moving this morning, nothing is a stirring.
Words that, without a doubt, ladies and gentlemen, will forever live in radio history. I just won't say if it's good or bad radio history. Well, that ends our tribute to Dialogue on its one-year anniversary since the restart of KTIB, which was in February of 2007. Now, always remember, the reason why Dialogue is so important, it is because it is Gene Richard's
my fire. Ready to rock and roll here.
I'm not going to tell you why we had to send 3 number 1 members, but it's partly because, the protectors are watching out for the city this morning.
Oh, Lord.
I had to get on them. I had to let them know.
While we're thinking about Chad and me, I got to say something on the air, and Chad, I know you're listening.
You bet.
Chad has done an outstanding job. Protector had walked in front of us that year, and we walking toward the end of the parade route on Tiger Drive. Protector had already finished the parade. Mr. Pat Barlow was holding up a sign that says it takes 2 number 1s to make 1 number 2. so Mr. Pat reminded me of that yesterday when he came out of the shop.
Good morning, you're live, KTIB.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, William Taylor.
Yeah, by the way, Gene, based on Buddy's comment coming out of the break, me and Daddy, we would never, ever laugh at you for the music that you play. We do it like everybody else. We just laugh behind your back. It's a lot easier.
Oh, thank you very much, Albert. That's so heartwarming.
Well, I'm related to you. That's punishment enough as it is.
DVDs, yeah. VCRs.
Mine still works.
Mine too.
Those DVDs are nicer than those 8 tracks you're playing over here.
Yeah, but the music is good. I'm going to tell you that, buddy boy. Johnny Norris, hey, by the way, I told you yesterday, Johnny and Butch Millet were good friends. Man, I hope I'm not offending Johnny, because, when you got them kind of friends, you got to be careful who your enemies are, because Lord. But anyway, fact of the day is Pez. P-E-Z.
Pez candies were first marketed as a compressed peppermint candy in 1927 in Vienna, Austria. Y'all are going to think I'm stupid. I never heard of Pez. I haven't.
It's little candies. They come in a tube, and you pop up the little thing, and the little candy shoots out. It usually has a little cartoon character or something on the top of it.
You're kidding. Never, ever.
So many people have stopped for my autograph. They want me to run for governor. You know, I just can't take any of it. I'm not going back on it. And I'm not Anthony Cole's baby's father.
You're about the only one.
You're so crazy. You haven't lost anything.
It takes less muscles to smile than it does to frown.
Yeah.
It does.
You researched that?
Laddie Duplantis told me that.
Yeah.
Yep.
He knows everything.
He knows everything. That's right.
I think Jesus smiled a lot. Despite those 12 men he had with him, he smiled a lot. But they were all over 58, by the way.
But I'm talking about actually tomorrow night riding behind the caravan of policemen and pizza.
Oh, yeah. Well, we need some extra security. Come help me do that security over all that.
That's what I'm talking about, brother.
That's what you're doing. All right.
You're afraid to turn my mic on, huh? He wants to chase the pizza man around. That's what he wants to do.
I think that's important, and we provide them with optimum security and coverage. Greg, it's not about the pizza; it's about the protection.
Sure.
It's not about the pepperoni. It's about the personal touch.
It's about the
touch that we do. It's a
the sausage.
Good morning, listeners.
I want your listeners to know that where you're sitting right now, that you start talking about that flag, that your name must be Clark Kent.
Why?
Because you got to be able to see through that wall.
Well, you saw me get up.
Yeah, but I don't even know what you were looking at.
The flag.
You probably had a crick in your back.
No, I went look at the flag on a flagpole. Present temperature. At least let me get through the weather. Look, there's the other one. That's what I told you. If the other one comes in, we'll never get the news out the way. Oh, man, I got Dumas. It's the Dumas and Leslie show this morning. This ought to be something else. Anyway.
You know, if you would pay your income tax.
I do that.
Upper 10, you know, you're in that upper 5%.
Oh, yeah, right.
You could probably buy about 7 of those Humvees. I was looking at your truck when I came up here, and I was wondering, you know, whether or not when you park that truck, do you pay at 2...
For 2 meters.
2
That's
meters.
Right, in 2 meters.
With that trailer hitch, that thing sticks out about 6 feet.
Let me tell you.
It's a tool of his trade.
Exactly. You know, anything smaller and I'm in trouble when you see what we pull with them, when you see what we got to hitch up. With fuel at the price that it is, you make as few trips as possible. So what we did, we bought slightly larger trucks and bigger trailers so that we can make less trips. We consume less total fuel in a month's time.
Well, why don't you make more fuel-efficient trucks?
I don't build them. I just got to use them.
Well, you have people in your shop that can jimmy around
we can't do that. You can't do that. Not on diesels. You can't do that.
Is that a diesel?
Can we pray for the guys that overseas?
I'm not even going to step on you. I could come in 3 times on that 1 minute, okay? And I'll shut up. So give me accolades here, okay?
Accolades. I don't know if he knows how to work that machine.
What is that?
Accolades. Everything.
What's the matter? Your headphones don't work?
No, I'm not used to it. I don't have as much experience with the microphone as you and Greg, and so it's kind of hard to listen to you all and talk at the same time. When I started playing football, we had leather helmets, and like somebody told me, he says, you got hit too many times, and I agree. Yeah, I've always said
I definitely agree.
I never played football, and they told me to get my vote.
All those lights in my head don't go on at the same time. So I get, there's a tea company you can go to on the website called the Upton Tea Company out in Boston, and you can buy it by the package.
You gave it to us 2 years ago for Christmas.
Yeah, kilo. There's a,
yeah, you did.
Okay, there was a,
I got it. You want it?
It still hadn't been opened.
It's in my drawer.
I got it.
I used it, and I used it with honey.
See, I believe
in some honey in there.
I believe in saving my gifts.
And that's right, you save your gifts. I notice every time
What's the shelf life on that?
Oh, the shelf life is